And it's Krista here to do the weekly reading for the sign of Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you don't know your Moon and Rising sign, there is a link in the description box to find your whole birth chart, and that way you can find your Moon and Rising signs. And if you want additional information for the week, you can always check out your Moon and Rising sign readings in addition to your Sun sign reading today. So this is for Scorpio for the week of September 5th to September 12th. I'm using the Medicine Card Tarot for a 3-card spread today, and then using the bottom of the deck card for general energy for the week. And then as always, drawing additional cards from each of the Wisdom of the Oracle Tarot and the Healing with the Angels Tarot. You'll notice I like switching these up from time to time, so let me know what your favorite deck is for me to use for the general reading. I'm normally using this deck here, but I thought I'd switch it up a little bit to keep it fresh. So let me know if you have a preferred deck. This is a general reading, Scorpio, so whatever is most prominent in your life, please apply these messages to, and hopefully you find them helpful and healing. So what does Scorpio need to know? All right, so let me just get a little idea of what's going on, generally speaking, with all 4 cards together. I just want to make sure that I have this correct with Swan. Bear with me here. I believe I do. I just want to be super sure. 39, perfect. So just right off the bat here, what we're dealing with this week, Scorpio, is an enormous opportunity for self-leadership through solitude, okay? You are the only one that's going to be able to lead you out of any concern or condition that you, or predicament that you find yourself in this week. So this is up to you, but it will take a sense of solitude or even getting in tune with yourself. Meditation is a nice way to accomplish this week. But you could meet with some distractions or opposition to that. Don't give yourself a hard time about that if that's the case. In fact, I think it's a really important week to be gentle with yourself, and maybe if you don't get what you want at the end of this introspection or self-assessment, and you meet with diversion or you meet with a distraction, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Just consider it a lesson, and you'll try again, okay? And there is a sense of grace available to you this week as well, and you'll probably see that. You'll probably, if you find yourself going backwards into old patterns of behavior or thought processes, or even meeting with something that sort of, keeps showing up in your life that you'd rather not, whether this is internal or external to you. I think that there is such a sense, or at least you'll be have available to you a real sense of grace and understanding about it, and hopefully you find some humor in the situation this week. You might find that a sense of grace around a difficult position this week or predicament will be manifested through humor, or manifested through even the ridiculous or the absurd. So yeah, if you find yourself in a tight spot this week, or going in circles, or just dissatisfied on some level this week, Scorpio, it could be a really nice week to have a laugh with at yourself and at the circumstances, and just pick yourself up. Don't spend any time in that in that letdown or in that circumstance. Just really get yourself out of it as quickly as possible and dust yourself off and move on, because there's such an incredibly strong sense of self here, and you know exactly what you want. You know exactly what you want, what you need, how to get it. Like you get it. But like I said, you're being distracted by something, or maybe talking yourself out of something here. So, and like I said, the opportunity behind that, instead of giving yourself a hard time about it, or instead of even saying it's all for nothing, that type of thing, I think that you'll find such a sense of grace in just letting it be, having a laugh, letting it go, and that's going to elevate you. And then you might even meet with this again. You might even go back and say, okay, I had a laugh, let's try again, right? Just, okay, it didn't work, or I got distracted, or it's not what I wanted, or, you just do it, you just start again. You go, all right, let's start over, or let's take what I got positive from it and then build on that. So the most important theme here, Scorpio, is that you're in charge, and you have a lot of support. It's not about doing everything alone. It's about knowing that what needs to be done is a solitary project. You have to do something for yourself, by yourself here. So trust yourself that you know what to do and you have what it takes. The bear is in your central position. This represents you, and his word is hibernation. And this is where I see you getting in touch with yourself through either meditation or quiet contemplation, even just being alone with yourself for the day. You can be busy throughout the day. I don't mean on social media. I mean, you can be puttering around the house. You can be creating a project. You could be baking or cooking, or even completely resting, like hibernating on the couch with the blanket and watching Netflix all day. Like, however you interpret hibernation, okay? But the point being is that it's really about sort of just gently closing the door on the outside world for now, or for a day, or for a short period of time, and really listening to yourself. Really even taking stock of where you are right now, where you've been, what you want, and how you plan to do that for yourself. But in a really gentle, like an assessment way. I don't see sort of lists being made right now. I feel like you might even be redoing a list over, or saying, I thought I knew how to get to point B, or I thought this was, or whatever, that isn't going the way you wanted it to, or you've changed your mind, right? You've found, oh, there's a different way to do this, or I've just learned something new and now I want to incorporate it. That could very well be what's going on as well, that there's just a new addition to what you've already been working very, very hard on, and now you're just sort of contemplating how to incorporate this new knowledge or this new understanding into your plans and goals. So that's all that's going on here, Scorpio. It's just sort of a contemplation around a reassessment of your plans and goals. And but I don't think in any way are you wondering, should I let someone else lead? Should I turn to someone else for advice right now? I don't think that's what's going on here. Like I said, you're really in a leadership role. Like, you know exactly what to do. You might have even done it before. You might have even been successful in this process, or in a similar process or theme in your life with regard to an upset or a condition or a concern. And you're just like, yeah, I have no problems doing this. I know exactly what to do. But there's a reassessment, or sort of a contemplation necessary this week, or like I said, you might find yourself in a contemplation or an assessment, and and that's a very positive place to be. So if you find yourself stopping to slow down, to reassess things, that's perfectly fine. What you want to avoid doing is to be completely diverted from taking any action or doing anything about it. But on the other hand, if you are, don't beat yourself up about it. Just, you know, brush that off and say, okay, tomorrow's another day. So the leadership is the influence that's got you in the current position. You know darn well exactly what you want. You know how to get it. And as you can see here, you're pretty fierce about it. Like, you had an enormous self-core. You have enormous self-respect. And I think this is what is maybe even getting you to the current and the probable situation, is this sense of you won't stand for garbage. You won't stand for baloney. You really want something very in particular here that you might even be protective of. So in the process of protecting yourself, just be sure that you don't talk yourself out of taking action or making a move that you know to be beneficial for yourself, okay? Scorpio, in the probable outcome is a possum. This is where I'm reading that you could be distracted or diverted this week. As you can see, it's just a small little sort of shrew-like animal. This could be, it's going to be a very little distraction, or it's going to amount to a very little diversion, but it could create a feeling, okay? And the feeling could be dismay, or could be disappointment and that type of thing. But whatever you do, don't let that weigh you down this week. I think this is also an opportunity, believe it or not, this week, Scorpio, to really find the humor in this situation. Really find a way to laugh about it. You don't have to make fun of yourself to do that, but you can find the humor in this situation, or even in the diversion. It could even be a hilarious distraction. It could even be what gets you out of the introspection here. If you find that you're getting too serious, or if you find that you're unable to find the humor in something, this could even be a very positive benefit with regard to keeping a light heart, okay? If you're diverted into something funny and positive that doesn't hurt you or someone else, go, like, let it be. Really just enjoy it. If this is something that's sort of taking over, and after introspection you find that you're unable to carry on as a leader, or you're unsure of yourself for any reason, you might try to or turn to distraction. If that's the case, again, like, don't be hard on yourself about it, obviously, but do treat it as something that you've introduced that you can also avoid or take away, okay? This doesn't have power over you. This diversion or distraction doesn't have power over you. So don't let it upset the entire project. If it upsets anything, just, you know what, let it go. Find the humor in it, and move on. Because it, like I said, it's a very small, and it might, you'll probably know exactly what it is. Like, it'll just be probably an interruption, okay? But it's not going to take over your life, and it's not going to ruin anything. I might even suggest here that it might even be good. It might even, maybe you need a good belly laugh this week, and it'll just add a lot of like fun and serendipity. Just don't let it take over. The swan is the general energy for the week, and of course we're looking at grace here. Here's where I see that every condition here is influenced by grace. And of course, grace, another term for this is faith, and another term for it is God, right? I think you could just be feeling free this week, or you could be, there could be an element of freedom that you are making available to yourself, perhaps through contemplation, but maybe even through the diversion itself. Like, this is very interesting to me, and I'm curious to hear how this works out for you, because you might even find that it works to your benefit, believe it or not, this week, because grace is involved. There's a sense of grace. There's a sense of looking at something through a different lens this week that might have even upset you before, or it might have even taken you off guard or brought you down or was difficult emotionally to move past. I think this week, if you meet with something similar to that, you might be able to have a laugh at it this week or treat it as not as important. And that's a really, really powerful position to be in, to be able to let that go. Chop wood. So this is you being able to have some humility in your life, to get your feet firmly on the ground, to sweep away what isn't working for you. Of course, there's a really bright light behind this wall shining in the room. So it's just making space for something positive and loving. But there is a sense of humility involved here, and it could be in association with this grace as well. I'm only laughing because I'm imagining that this is literally you tripping. I don't mean on drugs. I mean, maybe, but probably not. I just mean like tripping over something, you know, and catching yourself. And instead of being embarrassed or mad or hurt or anything like that, you're gonna laugh. You're gonna be like, oh, you know what? I'm fine. Or it doesn't matter who saw. Or I didn't expect to feel this way afterwards. Ultimately, a sense of humility. But being empowered by that, like knowing that you're part of spirit, knowing that no matter what, you're protected. And I just can't get rid of the sensation that there's something's gonna give you a belly laugh this week. I really feel this. And like maybe it'll be through a movie or maybe someone else will make you laugh. But I just see you just finding something. I really feel like this is specifically you in your head and your heart, and you're just like, you're gonna find something ridiculous that you either took really seriously before now, or for whatever reason you couldn't find the humor in. But I really feel that you're just able to say, you know what, yeah, I'm not gonna carry this weight anymore. I'm not gonna let something weigh me down. I'm not going to let, oh, my little candle went out. Sorry, Scorpio. I'm just really happy to see here that there's a real sense of lightness that's available to you here. Okay, I will leave it at that, and let's get your last card. Sweet soulmate. So again, you're going to feel really supported. Nothing's really going to shock you or upset you, even if it would have before. You're going to find the humor in it. You're going to be so grateful. You're going to be so gracious this week with the grace and the graciousness and the sense of, you know, maybe you can laugh at it. It might even that you've taken yourself too seriously about something in particular, and you're just like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. You know, that's over. Soulmate being your last card here. This could very well be a romantic relationship. If it is, this is very self-explanatory. This is either the beginning or the exaltation of a romantic soulmate relationship. On the other hand, this could be that you're very supported through your peer group, through your associations, through one friendship in particular here, but you feel very supported, loved, respected, and admired, and it's mutual. This is any soulmate situation is a mutuality. Just a beautiful way to finish off the reading for you here, Scorpio. So yeah, I mean, this is really lovely. If you're caught by surprise at all, I think it's really going to, nothing's going to be shaken up in particular except for your attitude. I think you're just going to put on a different set of lenses here. You're going to be able to appreciate something differently and find the humor in something if you can this week, especially if it's yourself. If you find yourself taking you or a predicament a little too seriously, take a step back from it. Learn what you can from it, make a vow not to keep repeating it, and you know what? Keep being that leader for yourself. You know what's best for you, so keep going. You're very, very protected and very wise. So please let me know how this works out for you. As you know, I'm always curious, and if you're not already, subscribe to my channel because I upload videos for your sign every week. And until we meet next time, Scorpio, take good care. Bye for now.